So a new agency owner asked me the other day, how do I close high-ticket clients? Through the process of barely getting my diploma from high school to being $15,000 in debt to making 30, 40 and 50k per month, I've learned many lessons along the way. And I think the question you instead should ask yourself is, how can I provide enough value to become a high-ticket service? Are you even worth what you want to charge yet? My first year of being an agency owner was brutal. I was paid anywhere from $400 to $1,000 by clients who undervalued my service. I received late payments and I kept my clients for max 3 months, meaning that I had to acquire new customers all the time just to maintain my income. I was working 16-hour days and made anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 per month. I was in a revenue roller coaster, and shout out to Ravi Bovala for making me aware of this, meaning that once I got clients, I had to serve my clients, and when I then lost my clients, I had to do client acquisition all over again, which is a never-ending vicious cycle that builds an invisible prison up around you. So the rule of thumb that you always have to keep in the back of your mind, that I learned the hard way, is the value discrepancy between what you charge and what you deliver. I learned that you typically have to deliver value of 5 or 10x of what you're charging for your services in order for your clients to retain you. Taking an easy example, if you want to charge your customers $1,000, you should make them at least $5,000 to $10,000. If you want to charge your customers $10,000 per month, you should make your clients at least anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 per month. And no, this is not revenue, but profit. But then we come to another point. How do you attract the clients that are able to pay you 2, 4, 6 or 10k per month? This comes down to a few things. Back when I started my agency, I sent 100 voice messages per day and 20 looms every single day. But reality is that even though I made a considerably large volume every day, I did not get any responses from big brands. Why? Because my social presence was terrible. What do you think people did when they received a voice message from a young kid on Instagram or received a cold email from me? They checked my profile or website before even considering responding. I had one Instagram post on my profile with nothing related to my service and a Squarespace website I had made in 2 hours. If you are reaching out to someone and telling them that they can make better ads by hiring you, or saying that they can make a lot of money by starting on short form content, or they need a better website so they can increase conversion, I asked myself what I would do. I would not just respond back to a complete stranger without doing any research on them. And they don't either. They check your social presence to see if you know what you're actually talking about, and then if you do, they will just respond back to you or even just book a meeting on your website automatically. You're not selling to beginners. Most people who make enough money to pay 2, 4 or 6 or 10k per month, they are sophisticated. And they hire people that it seems like they know what they are doing. So if you want to make your outbound at least 50 to 100% more effective, then you should probably take a look at your social presence instead of just increasing the volume. You're basically marketing a shit product because your website and social presence serves as the first-hand impression of your service. So they will subconsciously judge your service based on that. I hear so many people say that you should not spend a lot of effort on your website, and that is true if you're just getting started and just want a few clients to get product market fit. Then you should just focus ruthlessly on outreaches because that is the oxygen of your business. But when you're chasing 5 to 10k a month clients, you have to show that you are the best at what you do, and you do that by having a good online presence. Next thing is productize your service. Taking an example in our own service, it is very, very simple. We do email marketing for e-com and SaaS brands, and that's it. It takes 3 hours to set up a new client, and we deliver results far above any other email marketing agency out there. How? We're simply duplicating the same process repeatedly. This is basically just a system that we're setting up inside of that business, and it will generate results over and over again because it is predictable. If you have to customize your service for every one of your clients, you're making it very hard to scale it past 30, 50 or 100k because you have to spend a considerably large amount of time on each client. We are far more competitive than any other agency out there because we know exactly what outcome our clients will get when working with us. And that also means that we can guarantee results, which makes our closing rate far higher because there is no risk working with us. Make your service as easy to fulfill on as running an e-com business. Once someone buys, you should only have to press one or very few buttons to fulfill the order. It is the same principles we want to apply to your service. Now, I'm not going down into that rabbit hole because that would take 10 hours to break down, but essentially you want to serve the same customer avatar because their needs are all the same. And if any of you think that you cannot charge the same amount for doing less, I think that you're misunderstanding what business owners value. You are getting hired because you can achieve a specific outcome for a specific avatar known as the transformation. And the less time it takes to achieve the transformation, the better. So taking a look at the value equation by Alex Omosi, the less time and effort it takes for your client to achieve the dream outcome, the more value. If you give them more value by doing it in less time than your competitors, you can charge more for your services and not less. And that is especially when we're working with sophisticated business owners that are making 50, 100k or even millions every single month. They value speed a lot, so they do not mind paying you more to achieve their outcome faster, because they know that a small change in their business can make them significantly more long term. So last few things comes down to your ability to sell, so let's break that down. So taking an example in our sales process that I've spent the last 3 years refining, learning from Jordan Belfort, Jeremy Miner, Ravi Oberwala, Alex Omosi and so many more, I feel like our process is pretty much on point and our closing rate is 33% on a cold audience. So high ticket sales can be nailed down to 4 phases: information gathering stage, pre-framing, presentation of your service, objection handling, even though I would argue that most objections can be avoided by pre-framing them throughout the call. Information gathering stage is where you as a doctor find out what's wrong with them. And you've probably already heard this 1,000 times, but the reason that you're spending 5 to 15 minutes asking them questions is because you don't know what to prescribe them yet. If you came into the hospital with a headache and the doctor immediately said that you had to get a brain surgery without even having done any tests on you, you would probably object and be pretty eager to run some tests before letting the doctor cut your skull open. You as a doctor do 10% of the talking in this phase and your prospect does 90% and only ask the questions that we can use as ammunition later on in the call to prescribe the perfect solution to them. So here's what you really need to get out of them. Why are they here? Have they tried other solutions before? How will their life change once they achieve your transformation? Then we come to the presentation, but first a thing majority of people forget, which is pre-framing the close, and you do that by mentioning this. Now before I go into the presentation, I want to mention real quick how our calls typically end. If things make sense and you see the benefit and value, I'm going to lay a path forward on how we can join a partnership together today. And this means by the end of the call that we are simply looking for a yes or a no. Now, what I'm not the biggest fan of is let me think about it, talk to my dog, talk to someone else, do more research, etc. We do not do follow-ups, and I promise you that you will not hurt my feelings if you say no, and it just respects the both of our time. So a simple yes or no is all I'm really looking for at the end. Can I count on you for that? This makes you avoid the smokescreen completely of them having to think about it, so you are trapping them to make a decision on the spot. And they are typically very understanding of this, especially if it is high-ticket prospects that understand the waste of time it is to do follow-ups. And then we go into the presentation, and the presentation is just as, if not more important than your website and social presence, because you are presenting exactly how you can help them. What I see again and again is that people just make a quick presentation instead of just putting their hearts and souls into it. I'm spending the time necessary to make a world-class presentation that is unlike anything else that they have ever seen before, because I know that they will judge my service based on how I present it. And we present our product like Apple presents a new piece of tech to the public. Make their eyes focus on each point of the presentation by presenting one bullet point at a time. Keep it simple and very easy to understand. And I would recommend putting your copy through the software Hemingway, which makes it easier to understand. No matter how sophisticated you think that your customer avatar is, no one likes to think. Because thinking leads to own conclusions, meaning that we are losing control over the conversation. They will not buy for you if they have the smallest doubt in their mind that you can fulfill on what you promise. If you genuinely have a good product, it is very easy to sell, and I would rather have a terrible salesperson with a good offer than vice versa. I'm far from the best salesperson, but the structure of our script and presentation has made me able to still have a close rate on 33% on a cold audience, and you can too. Only after understanding the value discrepancy, understanding how to productize my service, understanding how important your online presence is, and understanding how to build a sales process that makes it very easy to close, I could scale past 50k per month. Maybe my perspective will change once we hit 100, 200 or 500k per month, but hey, realizing this didn't make me fall. And as always, like and subscribe for more value.